Alright guys, so I'm going to give you a home theater update. Even though it's not completely done, there's a few things that I kind of screwed up on. So here's the lights. So notice we have a couch. Still haven't taken the tags off of it yet. But I'll sort of walk you through, and I'm going to do a full sort of review of everything. I still haven't tuned the audio. I'll also do sort of, I guess, I don't know what the point of it would be, but do a demo where I'll set up the camera so you can kind of hear the audio. But notice I've got sort of window treatments in. The window treatments have kind of turned into a little bit of a disaster. And that I got some goofy sort of bolted on piece here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I guess it looks okay. So here's the, one of the issues I have is that when I open the door, I can't open the door the whole way because of how the weird sort of the door casing is right up next to the wall. I guess that doesn't matter. I mean, there's plenty of room to walk through. It's just a little weird, that I've got this sort of perfectly designed room, and I've got this little sort of screw up here with the Lutron window treatments. So he had to come up with a solution because you need to change the batteries in these. But anyway, I'll still work on that, and the Velodine's not going to be in here. All right, so let me close the door and I'll sort of take you through what's in here. So of course we have acoustic paneling. So I've got GIK acoustics. I'm going to have to do some work here because the sub, there's so much SPL, so much bass, and so much air movement in here that all of my my sort of picture hangers that are holding these up have gotten a little crooked. But the first thing to sort of talk about is the display. It's a 65-inch OLED LG. And I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten about how I need a bigger display. I mean, I'm sitting like 10 feet from the thing. I'm much more concerned about quality than quantity. I've never been a fan of a projector. In my opinion, to get a decent sort of projected non-direct display image, I mean, you need an anamorphic lens. I mean, you're $50, $60, $70,000 to get even close, and you still don't have the same sort of quality that you have from a direct display like this OLED. So I'm not going to argue that. This is what I want. It's my room. I've sort of always wanted or always prefer to have a direct display. If they come out with an 80 or 90-inch OLED, I'll probably get it. And I'm sure they will in the future, but for right now, this is plenty. And so audio was more important to me than video was anyway. But I wanted a direct display. This is driving me nuts. I have to go get my level out. One of the other things I'm going to do is get I'm getting a new air conditioner here. The coil's bad on this one, so I just kind of band-aided it. But I'll get that fixed here in the not too distant future. So OLED display. What I have inside the cabinet, just so I don't have to mount the TV too high, is a Revel F206 center. I think it's a 206 or C206. Sorry. With dual 8s, a single 3-inch woofer, and then I think they're aluminum dome tweeter, and I did all sort of gloss black rather than the wood finish. These are Sunfire. I wanted Emotiva amps, but these are Sunfire 7 by 200 watt. Now I'm running at 4 ohms, and I'm bi-amplifying the front channels. So because I've got 14 channels of amplification, there's two full 7-channel amps. The center and each front is bi-amplified. So basically, I have a channel sort of for the high frequencies and mid-range, and then a channel for the low frequencies on the drivers on the speakers. Because we were doing the window treatments, I had to move the speakers around. So I've got to get my tape measure out and get them sort of all dialed in here. But I'm too lazy to do it today, and I wanted to at least get a video up to sort of share what the heck's going on in here. The fronts are the F208, and again, these are held on by magnet. All my speakers are treated with Menzerna Power Lock. So you have dual 8-inch, single 4-inch, and then the 1-inch tweeter, aluminum dome tweeter. I normally don't like aluminum dome or metal dome speakers, but in order to get the efficiency, and I wanted something a little bit more sort of dynamic than a typical soft dome like from Vienna Acoustics or Dyne Audio or something like that. I was going to do compression drivers, but that would have been too harsh for me. So choosing these, I think, was a good choice. It's a good sort of balance of rip my face off, and to sort of give you an idea how big these are. Let's see if we can't see, just so you can sort of reference. They come up to my waist roughly. And then we have the rears. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the rear revels. I'm not going to pull the covers off of them, but they're sort of wall mounted. And acoustically, I'd probably be better off mounting them. For Dolby Atmos, it calls for at you sort of 2/3 or 1/3 up the wall. I mounted them a little bit higher at slightly below half, just so they don't look completely stupid. But they are sort of slightly above ear height, which I tend to prefer anyway. Of course, we have Dolby Atmos as well. I don't want to say of course, but we do. These are the I should have had all my model numbers in my head. C28, 283 or something, 283s or something like that. Anyway, they're single 8-inch driver with a single 1-inch sort of directional tweeter. So we have that set up. Apparently Ryan's up in the attic running around. It's like a 60-foot room that runs all the way across. And then the big thing I did a little teaser video on. I've forgotten I didn't actually get any footage of the woofer, of what it looked like in the room. It took me all that I had to get it there. It weighs about 300 pounds. This is a JTR. These were, I don't really know the story of JTR and Jeff Permanian, or whatever the heck his last name is. Permanian. But anyway, Jeff, I think, sort of got his start on AVS forum making subwoofers. At least this is sort of what I know about it, and sort of making homemade subwoofers. And then what happened is I was looking for a JL Gotham, which is like 15 grand, and I obviously didn't want to spend that much money. So then I was going to do a Fathom F212, which is about 6,000. And then I stumbled upon Mark Seaton. Somebody had suggested Mark Seaton on our Obsessed Garage page, and the Facebook page. And then I stumbled upon JTR, and the JTR fit and finish is nicer. And then they had this sort of new design. This is the JTR 4000 ultra low frequency. So notice how big the sub is. It's massive. It's certainly unnecessary. It's a 4,000 watt RMS amplifier, dual 18s. I mean, the 18s are massive excursion. I think they have 3¼ inch excursion, which of course is the distance it travels outward and inward. But the reason why the cabinet's so big is it's a ported cabinet, and it's tuned to 10 hertz, so it plays down, below sort of audible frequencies in order to sort of feel it and be a part of it. I will probably, even though this is not a huge room, I'll probably need to add another sub just to sort of even out sort of the bass response to make the sub disappear. I certainly won't get another one of these, but man, that thing is cool. I mean, you can make fun of me or yell at me for being stupid or say whatever you want. But if you're an audio guy, I mean, it's sheer, even if it didn't sound good, which it sounds fantastic, it's impressive. It's just cool. So the woofer's probably running at 2 clicks up for when there's 20 clicks of volume. Again, I haven't tuned it yet. I haven't tuned any of this. I haven't even run the Odyssey setup yet in here with the acoustic treatments and the couch. but I'm getting the, you know, the sort of, as you can probably hear me talking, the audio quality that we're getting here is better than just because of the acoustic treatments. And then, you know, now that I have the window treatments, it makes a significant difference. So let me show you real quickly the components. Put this back. It's just magnet held on in place. I wanted it very, very simple. This Samsung 4K player is junk, but it's really the only 4K player we have. I'm waiting for Oppo to come out with one. It's just super slow. It doesn't respond the way I want. I have cable out here, you know, for watching sports. This is the Marantz Av 8802A, which is their sort of newest processor. I wanted a Japanese processor. You know, a lot of the really sort of high-end, either Italian or American stuff, always tends to have, in my experience, tends to have issues with, you know, with HDCP, you know, what is it, HD content protection. And issues with HDMI. So this has all the latest sort of HDMI capabilities, HDMI 1.3, and just doesn't have issues with processing. And then I have a Furman linear power conditioner. I also ran in the room dual dedicated 20 amps. So I have the amps running on one dedicated 20 amp, and then all the rest of the equipment, the TV and everything else running on the other. So very, very simple setup. I'm using WebOS a lot for watching sort of 4K content on either Vudu or on Netflix, and then of course the Samsung 4K player. All the cable is from a company called Blue Jean Cables, or BlueJeansCable.com. Relatively inexpensive. The most expensive part, and I have to tie all this up. I didn't want to do this because I knew the guys would be sort of messing with the window treatments. But the you know, I'm not disappointed in how he did the blackouts. It looks good. It looks good enough. And then I'll probably caulk around it so that I don't get any light seepage when I'm watching. And I have to fix the sort of the paint in the corners. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. So the most expensive part is the 14 channels of balanced XLR connections that go from the receiver, from the preamplifier to the amplifiers. So if you're not familiar with home theater, if you're just a car guy and you're watching this, you know, generally speaking, the best way to get sort of audio from, you know, so I have a digital connection coming from the DVD player or the Blu-ray player to the Marantz, same thing. A digital optical cable from the cable box to the Marantz, and then a digital optical cable from the TV to the Marantz, and then I have to send that processed signal out to the amplifiers, and you're better off doing that in a balanced fashion with a balanced XLR cable. So those XLR cables probably cost me $600, but the rest of the stuff, I think I was like $800 for all the sort of latest HDMI connections, digital fiber optic connections. And again, this cable company is all about just quality of reproduction or quality of transmission, and not quality of look. So, which I don't care about. So there's your bi-amplified setup. So each front channel is getting 200 times 2, so we're getting 400 watts per channel in left, right, and center. And then I'm single channel amplification of all the rears. Next thing, which I still have to sort of dial in, and obviously I've got some cable issues here. I was waiting for the guys to finish with the window treatments, but I've got a Lutron caseta system. So basically what I can do is, you know, set a scene. When I press a button, the lights turn off and the window treatments come down. They're really, really quiet, battery operated. Let me turn the lights back on so you can see what the heck I'm talking about here. So I've got to download the app and work on the scenes, but you know, I wanted something a little darker, and now that even sort of darkens up it darkens up the room, and two, it helps get rid of sort of the reflections and standing waves and some of the sort of resonant frequency issues that we'd have from the windows. So now when, you know, lights are off, we're perfectly sort of blacked out. There's a little light seepage in the corners of the of the the treatments sit. But it looks like he even fixed that. So looks like he caulked that in the solution. So I'm pleased. I haven't told him this yet, but I didn't even know he was coming out here today. I sort of left the door open and said, just do it. And hope he didn't steal everything. Carpeting, I forget the brand or name of the carpeting. I got the vacuum cleaner in here. There's no shoes, there's no food, there's no popcorn, there's nothing allowed in here. So if you ever come over my house, if you're unfortunate enough to come meet me, don't think you're eating popcorn on my freaking couch. It's not happening. So everybody knows, no shoes and no food. Lighting is LED. It's too yellow for me, but it's too late now. They're in there. I'm not going to change it. Maybe I'll do that someday, but the lights aren't going to be on very often. Yes, I have a ceiling fan. No, I'm not taking it out. Yes, I know it affects us acoustically. And if I'm hot, I want to be able to turn the fan on and do my thing. So I had a black fan. It's up near the ceiling. It's close to the cloud. But I don't care. This is my room. I'm going to do what I want to do in it. And I know it's not perfect, but this isn't a perfect room. This is a functional, come in here, watch TV, watch movies, and be comfortable. Otherwise, I would have done tiered theater seating. I would have turned the room long ways, and I would have sort of taken that extra care. But this is sort of the room that I've always wanted to have. Just a super comfy, super thick carpet, big old comfy couch. This is a Lazy Boy Devon. Each of the couch, each of these are sort of reclinable. So the feet, sort of the part comes out, and then it's going to be hard for me to do here, but you can recline it sort of backward. So in case I did have people sitting. The couch is going to be slightly off the wall. I had it sort of set off to the side, so I'm going to center the couch up here as soon as, probably as soon as I hang up on this or shut this video off. And now, because now I have the window treatments done, I can sort of move everything where it needs to go, set up the Odyssey system, tune the subwoofer, and then I should be sort of dialed in and good to go. Of course, we have the bass traps in the corner, which I made a video about earlier, and then the monster bass traps with scatter plates in the back to make sure the room isn't completely dead, still has some character. What you're seeing there is just my sort of wireless airport Apple Express wired through Ethernet, and then that's the Lutron Caseta system for lighting. So again, one of the sort of beauties of these window treatments is they're super quiet, they're smooth, and then the fabric is sort of sound capturing, if you will. So here's the bigger one, and then I can tune the scenes. The next step is I need to get a remote. There's a few OG guys, a few Obsessed Garage guys that sort of are experts in Control 4. So there's the operation. I kind of made a mistake in that I chose black. See, this channel here is a blackout channel, so that you don't have light that bleeds through. Otherwise, you sort of see it on the edge of the window or the treatment. I chose black because I just wanted a little bit of black accent in the room, just to sort of change it, because I knew I'd have black speakers. I knew I'd have sort of some black acoustic paneling. It looks a little weird, but I like it. It's fine. If I could do it again, I would probably order something that was either the color of the fabric, or maybe even the color of like an off-white or something like that. But all in all, this is the vision that I've had. This is the dream, sort of home theater. I don't even know if I call it a home theater. It's just a room to come in and to veg out and have my face ripped off if I want to, but be comfortable and cozy if I want it to be, with really, really killer sort of audio, but not anything insane. I mean, we don't have $100,000 speakers or anything crazy in here. Nothing in here that really is ultra expensive. I mean, the fronts are expensive, but I think they're what, $4,000 a pair. They're not $40,000 a pair. The subwoofer, believe it or not, was, I think the sub was $3,000, and then I did the ebony finish, which cost me another $500. It was $3,500 shipped for that monster, versus the JL Gotham was $15,000. So, you know, I don't want to call this a budget theater. I want to say I probably have 50 grand into this whole thing, maybe 60, which is a lot of money. But in comparison to what, you know, a lot of theaters cost, I mean, most theaters would spend more than that on just the room alone. You know, me doing a lot of it myself, you know, really made a difference in cost. So anyway, I'll do more, I'll probably do some videos of when I do the Odyssey setup, and I'll probably do some more videos specifically on the products and the speakers and why I chose them, and then have more review. I've only watched 2 movies in here. I've been so preoccupied with cars and wash bay, and I probably would have enjoyed this more if I would have taken more time, but anyway, wanted to give you guys an update on the theater because I was sharing this on the channel. For those of you guys who don't care about this stuff, hopefully you still sort of appreciate my passion for this. This is my sort of other passion outside of cars, and this has been sort of my first love before finance was you know, home theater. And I've probably forgotten more than I know now, but I know enough to be sort of to build something like this, which is sort of the theater that I wanted. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more crazy. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.